kicking for you like it's 9-3. You see, Rob impact the mic, keeping it real, G. Talk about relationships, money, and health. Dropping knowledge while I'm spitting it, that's a wealth.
Complex conversations, we break it down. Pop culture topics, we hold it down. Dive deep into society's complexities. Educate, entertain, never rest in it. Complex
Context, where the truth unfolds. Analyzing life through stories untold. Rob impact, dropping knowledge every day.
Unpacking life's complexities, one topic at a time. You're listening to Complex Context. Here is your host, Rob Impact.
Good day to my Complex crew, and welcome to another episode of Complex Context. This is a show where we do unpack life's complexities one topic at a time, and we talk about all kinds of different things that we encounter and hopefully can relate to. Maybe we want to vent about something. Maybe we want to proclaim our love for something or somebody. This is the show that kind of wraps itself around all of that and a little bit more. My name is Rob Impact, and I hope you have had a great week since we were last together. Mine has been unbelievably busy, but in a good way. And sometimes we forget that as busy as we get, it's still a blessing in disguise to be able to wake up another day and have all kinds of things to do. So I'm very grateful for that, and I hope you are as well. Sometimes it is difficult to kind of separate the craziness of life with the appreciation for being able to go through these experiences and these tasks, if you will. So it's been a really busy week, but very productive, very good. I would like to give a shout out to my father-in-law, whose 70th birthday we recently celebrated. And wow, it was a heck of a gathering. It was probably the most people that we've had over the house where I live, and I couldn't tell you how long. We typically will do a cookout every Memorial Day, and we get a good amount of people that come over, but I don't think anything like this. It was great to see friends and family and old connections of his come by and be able to surprise him. He has done a lot for my wife and I and our daughter, and I really appreciate him. Lots of love to him. Thank you, Papa. We love you. We appreciate you. Happy 70th. I'm glad that you're able to get to this point in life where a lot of people, unfortunately, do not get that opportunity for one reason or another. And it was great to be able to help usher that celebration in with my wife. So, yeah, that was really, really cool. I also want to give another shout out to Geneva, one of our most faithful listeners, if not uber fan of Complex Context. I don't want her to miss any of the love that we give her. Not that she would, but sometimes we cover so much ground on the show, it's hard to really focus in on where we place all of the love and for certain people in this show. So Geneva, many shouts and appreciations for you. Thank you so much for following us. And as you might have suspected, if you're hearing that, because I certainly can hear it, we do have the HVAC kicking on in the studio here at the Mass Ave Media Studios because, again, in Massachusetts, from which we broadcast from, it is ridiculously hot. I mean, I made so much laundry yesterday just with being outside, running around, doing errands, making sure that I set up and broke down things that I needed to outside, and it was just awful. How's the weather where you're listening from? I hope it's a little bit more forgiving than the humidity and the high temperatures that we've been seeing in Massachusetts. Yes, it's summertime. Yes, it's New England. Shouldn't be that much of a surprise, but it's not really a surprise so much as an inconvenience. So I'm ready to get some of that humidity and sweat out of here and replace it with some cool conversations here on Complex Context. As we have continued to become a society in the United States which is very communicative and probably more than what it is, let's say, reasonable in terms of subject matter that we discuss or put out there, There's one concern that really caught my attention, and it really came from bumper stickers or magnets on the back of cars. And that is, it seems as though with the continued focus and magnification of using social media and maybe people wanting to get themselves famous and out there, that we really have abandoned the privilege and really the benefit of privacy. I know that sounds weird, and some people might go, listen, I have nothing to hide. It's not about having anything to hide. It's about making sure that whatever you want to put out there are things, there are various details, certain particulars in which you won't mind having people reference quite consistently. One thing about the internet and the technology that we use is when you put stuff out there by technological means, it is very difficult to revoke or retract a statement or some kind of premise that you put out there in terms of who you are and what you believe in. It is very apparent, based off of car bumper stickers and magnets, that people love to advertise some of their personal beliefs. And it could be about all kinds of different subject matter. I'm sure you know where I'm going with this, or at least you can concoct in your mind a couple of scenarios that this applies to. When I'm out and about and I'm driving and I see somebody plastering all of these little rectangular stickers on their bumper or the rear liftgate, and it has to do with their political beliefs, with their religious beliefs, with their animal beliefs, with their environmental beliefs. It's important that we do take pride and don't have any shame, as long as it's not something extreme for the sake of being extreme. But if it's a belief system which you have and is valid based off of how you were raised and what your own mindset is, not being influenced by others, there is nothing wrong with having the beliefs and taking pride in them. But we are volunteering a degree of privacy when we put those out there. Because really, when you think about it, isn't anybody's business that, especially when I say anybody, more so people that you don't know, is it their business as far as knowing what your personal beliefs are? What is the benefit of that? If I have someone whose attention is not organically drawn to me for one reason or another, why am I going to use my belief system as a beacon for them to go, whoa, I had no idea who you were or what your business was around me, but now that I know you feel like you want to support this or you don't believe that, now I'm going to pass judgment on you and maybe give you a mean mug and you won't even realize it. Or maybe you will and you'll just continue about your day like it doesn't matter to you. Why do we want to volunteer our privacy? Those are things where, again, you can have the belief and take pride in it. There's nothing wrong with that. But there is a benefit of keeping some things private. And by private, I don't mean not divulging at all. I mean making sure that those conversations and the awareness of your beliefs and what you support and what you don't support is done in a manner that is safe for you. It doesn't conflict with the belief system of others who may be within your immediate area, and it allows for a formalization of a time and place where we can have these discussions, or if necessary, debates in a very structured manner, and in a manner which you kind of have the expectation of, okay, I might be approaching an environment or a situation where we're going to have a difference of opinion or a very different butting of heads as far as our beliefs, our life beliefs. I don't see the benefit of people plastering their beliefs on the back of their vehicles or on the front of a t-shirt. Now, I'm not talking every kind of thing that you're into. I'm talking the kind of more divisive subject matter in life that people always seem to butt heads against. So it has nothing to do with hobbies or acts of goodwill, right? I wouldn't fault anybody for saying, I like animals, or I support education for all children, regardless of background and financial status. Those are things which have a humanistic side that really should be the basis of everybody's belief system. We're not really stirring the pot when we say those things and when we want to say, hey, I believe in that. Or you can get a little bit more general and have somebody say, I like hip-hop music, which I very much do, if I haven't already put it out there. And in case you haven't already figured it out by some of the music beds that we use in our show, but that's neither here nor there. Or I like red and purple color combinations. We're not really rocking the boat with these things, right? But as soon as you start putting out there that I don't support this country, I do support this country, I don't support these weapons, I do support these weapons, I don't believe in this religious belief or entity, but I do believe in this religious premise. When you put that out there, you are asking for trouble. And I know that might sound a little odd, and there's going to be a degree of people that always want to quote, or I don't want to say quote, let me take that back. There's always going to be people that want to refer to the Constitution without ever having read a damn bit of it. And all somebody wants to go say is freedom of speech, freedom of speech, freedom of speech. And this is life advice, folks. So please take this for what it is. Freedom of speech does not equal freedom of consequence. You can say anything you want, but it does not mean that you will have no repercussions from it. And I think that's gotten to be very, very lost on a whole bunch of people. The consequence could be as simple as somebody in the neighborhood saw the shirt that you wore that supports a political belief of yours, and they'll see you next time on the street and go, hey, you wore that shirt, right? Not probably thinking of anything other than just an innocent interaction, and you go, yeah. And all of a sudden you find yourself on the end of being sucker punched because someone might say, yeah, well, that's a terrible shirt, and I don't believe that, and I think you're evil. There is a benefit to maintaining and really appreciating our privacy. And again, privacy is, in this aspect, the act of making sure that your beliefs and your lifestyle choices are put out in appropriate environments and around appropriate people in a manner which does not purposefully rock the boat and cause anger and dissension in your day-to-day travels. That's just being a jerk to be a jerk. I don't understand that. You know what I have on the back of my vehicle? I have one pro wrestling company, and I don't know if I've talked about it in any recent episodes. I have been a pro wrestling fan. It's mindless entertainment, but it does involve incredible athletes who do risk after risk in order to have this special form of entertainment pay off to the fans, and I think it's fantastic. So there's one particular pro wrestling organization that I enjoy. Now, there are a set of fans that are very divisive over, oh, why do you watch this particular organization? You should watch this one. But this isn't a life or death thing. This isn't a quality of life thing, right? You can have those discussions and say, okay, let's talk about the pros and cons. Let's have a little bit of a debate here. But putting out my appreciation for a particular pro wrestling company is not something that any sane person is going to take a look at and go, oh, what an evil person. What a terrible person. I can't believe they feel that way. Yes, you're going to have people that say that no matter what you put on your T-shirt, whatever you put on your car, any kind of social media posts, and that's fine, because then you can very easily see the people that take things that aren't that serious too seriously. But when we talk about the different cultures and beliefs that people have, and some of the disconnect of understanding one versus practicing another, why would you want to put that out there? Why are you trying to bring attention to something that you're not going to have any immediate kumbaya moment with somebody over, other than just forcing someone to say, okay, now, without any context behind who they are, see, complex context, you see where I'm going with this? Without any proper context of who they are as a person or why they feel the way that they feel, I'm passing judgment now. Now I know that you believe this, and now, without proper debate, proper conversation, back and forth, I'm going to pass judgment and feel a certain way about you that you probably didn't afford yourself to avoid. It's really a shame that we want to plaster all of these things that seem to promote divisiveness, and though the context of what you're promoting itself may not be negative, putting it out there in front of a bunch of people who you don't know how they're going to react about that, that is the wild card. So that's why I'm saying it's better to just be private about it. Save it for the people, your friends, your family, of which you know you can have these discussions with in an adult manner, and in a manner which, if you really want to be taken seriously, hopefully these people will do that. But when you put it out there and you're advertising your personal beliefs, it just reeks of desperation for attention. And if that's who you are, I really feel sorry for you. I really do. I will respect someone so much less if they come at me promoting their beliefs than just having a normal day-to-day conversation. And if we're meant to get down that road over time, let it organically happen. But don't go out of your way to make your social media profile about one of these divisive beliefs, or don't go out of your way to have a banner put up on your house or place of work to promote something that you can have differing groups have big bouts of contention with, and it's just not worth it. Being private and privacy are two different things, and I want you to understand that. You don't have to be a private person. You can be a social butterfly and discuss all kinds of different subject matter and be really just someone that wants to talk about everything under the sun that is most relatable, or at least a general subject matter which could be appreciated by most. Oh my goodness, did you see the building that got imploded downtown that they're going to make room for a gas station now? Holy cow, you would believe that I went on a walk and I saw a duck almost hit the windshield of a truck. Stuff like that, very simple stuff. Or even if you want to do the celebrity gossip thing, which I'm not a fan of, but I can kind of understand why some people want to do that. Oh my goodness. Did you see what Prince so-and-so or Princess so-and-so was doing? And I couldn't believe the outfit that they left the castle with. If you want to do that, so be it. That's cool, I guess, right? Could be worse, not terrible, but you're still maintaining, deservedly, the privacy of your personal beliefs, which surround much more significant topics and interactions in life. And it's important to understand that you can have both. You can be social. You can put yourself out there and really get involved with a lot of different subjects that you feel a certain way about, while still maintaining the gift of privacy. I hope you understand where I'm coming from here. I don't want to discourage people from expressing themselves, and there are certain things which you're really not going to have much resistance from, subject-wise. But we know, for the most part, let's not pretend like we're dumb here. Let's call the elephant in the room for what it is. When you're talking religious matters, gender matters, political matters, socioeconomic, maybe to a degree matters, you're going to really upset and trigger some people if you start to advertise your beliefs and dismiss the privacy which you were organically afforded and you've decided to give up. That's your right. But with that, you have to be okay with the obvious. People will pass judgment. People may get aggressive and confrontational. You may have this cloud of a particular aura that hangs over you when you show up to certain places, whether it's professionally or with family. Are those things that it's really hard to come back from? Is it worth you sacrificing the privacy of your beliefs in promoting that and being able to say, I'm willing to sacrifice relationships and general judgment with the people that I interact with? I don't see it. I've never been that way, and I just don't believe in something that much that I would have to go beyond some of the obvious people that I would talk about these things with, like my wife, my father, right? A couple of people come to mind who I'm very close with professionally that I've developed a friendship with, maybe them. But that's like 4 people. I'm not trying to plaster some type of life message. And my desire would be, don't believe that your identity is based around your willingness to sacrifice your privacy. It's never going to work out that way. Everybody deserves to express themselves within reason. You have to understand expression does warrant a degree of privacy for the respectfulness of everybody that may interact with this premise from day to day. Please, let's just make sure that we carry ourselves in a certain way that allows us to continue to believe in what we believe in while not wanting to disturb what others believe in. There is a way to do that, and part of that is stop advertising yourself. Stop advertising your beliefs. Those are your beliefs. You can hold them close. You can believe in them. You can tell certain people how you feel, but when you go out in the world, you cannot expect that your freedom of speech yields freedom of consequence. So please be safe out there and make sure that what you do believe in, you do have your own mindset and own justification that you have come up with on your own, that it's not influenced by other people who want to advertise their beliefs because it's popular to do so, and because it's done so frequently, it might be a good thing. Now, there's a lot of bad decisions that are made at a grand scale, and we got to get away from that. So just make sure that you hold your beliefs close to you, and you don't have to sacrifice them, but understand that other people have the right to have their beliefs and hold them close and not cause both of you an unnecessary headache with some moment of divisiveness that nobody's asking for. Be safe out there, guys. You can always interact with us at your leisure. We are on Facebook at facebook.com/ComplexContext1. We are also on X, the former Twitter. Our username is ComplexContext1. And you can always send us an email, give us some feedback. Maybe you have a topic suggestion, or you would like to comment on one of the topics that we've discussed in a prior episode. Reach out to us on email at complexcontextshow@yahoo.com. We do want to give a shout out to our listeners around the world. We see you, we enjoy you, and if you would like to give a shout out to somebody, family, friends, or just somebody random in the world who might be part of the Complex crew, don't hesitate to send that along. We'd be happy to pass the message along to who you would like it to get to. Now, it's time for some ridiculous life advice.
Ridiculous life advice.
Don't expect an airplane to flap its wings in order to fly.
Ridiculous life advice.
I'm telling you, that has quickly become one of my most favorite segments. It's Ridiculous Life Advice. I mean, the title could not go along any better than that, really. You know what you're getting when we get that. For those music heads out there who enjoy some good R&B, maybe a little bit of a hip-hop flavor, I would highly recommend you check out Ryan Leslie's You Know My Speed album. I found that about a week ago and was very, very happy to come across it. It was released around February of this year, and it has enough tracks to make a good part of your day go by very quickly. I was always a fan of Ryan Leslie's music, and you can tell his creativity just has not been sacrificed. It has not stopped. This album, oh man, fantastic. I had my earbuds in and just really enjoyed getting some work done while I was listening to it. There's at least 10 tracks, if my memory is correct on that, and they flow very well from one to the other. There isn't really any kind of dramatic difference of style or flavor from one to the other, so you pretty much know what you're getting. You Know My Speed, Ryan Leslie. That is my official Rob Impact music recommendation for this episode. And as we're getting ready to round out this episode, I think it's time for a lesson from the Urban Dictionary.
Yo, it's time for the lessons. Urban words and the essence. Straight from the streets, no guessing. We'll break it down, no stressing. Stacks on stacks and drip too. What's the lingo? Yeah, what's new? From frontin' and keeping it true, we got the vocab for you. Urban Dictionary style. Learning words makes us smile.
Lesson from the Urban Dictionary debuted during our last episode, and it's where we learn a word or a phrase, either past or present, which has been used enough to make its way to the Urban Dictionary. We use a random letter generator to provide us a letter, and this episode's letter is the letter M. And then, once we have that letter, we randomly select a word which starts with that letter. And our lesson from the Urban Dictionary this episode is the word Mowday. M-O-W-D-A-Y. What is Mowday? A low-functioning idiot. Your example? Dude, quit being such a Mowday. That is the lesson from the Urban Dictionary. I have a very hopeful week ahead of me with certain goals I'm hoping to accomplish and certain places that I'm hoping to go, both literally and figuratively. And I hope that wherever your path leads you during the week, it's a safe one. Thank you so much, as always, for your understanding. The AC kicking on and off here at the Mass Ave Media Studios. Right now it's off, but it's been on, it's been off during this episode. And again, that Massachusetts heat, we just have to bear with it as best as we can, and we appreciate your understanding of that. Hopefully your week provides much more comfort and really a lot of good love, appreciation, laughs, and really bantering back and forth with people that you enjoy spending your day-to-day with, both personally, professionally, just like we do here at Complex Context. So make sure you check us out every time we drop an episode. We appreciate those subscriptions. Spread the love. We would appreciate that as well. Feel free to leave a review. Those are always beneficial. And don't hesitate to contact us on social media or on email. My name is Rob Impact. Do what you do. Do it often. Do it well. Just don't do anything I wouldn't do, and you'll be doing all right. Take care of yourself. I'll catch up with you.
Visit the show's website at complexcontext.podbean.com. Complex Context is a Mass Ave Media production